Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Good day. It is a new week. And it is a new day for the Doubi Cup. We are in the prelims. Day 2. We had Group A already a couple days ago. And today we have Group B. And I'm trying to figure out what the next game name is. All right. Yes, indeed. From Group A, a few days ago, we had Kaho and Lawlight advancing, and today we're going to have two more from Group B. Chaemiko, Lucy, Soin, and Fly are going to battle it out for 2 spots, and at the end, there's even going to be another tiebreaker for a final position, because for our main round in the Doubi Cup, we have 5 invited players for the round-robin stage, and we're going to have 5 qualified players. We have 2 already of those qualified players. We need 3 more, and those are the ones we're going to find out today. And we're going to see who's going to be able to do that. I would say Chaemiko and Soin are the big favorites today. Fly also, with a good showing, has a decent chance. For Lucy, I must say I am a bit worried. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, we're in the lobby. We're trying to start the game. Unfortunately, there have been a few bugs lately. Alright, but this run now seems to be working. Fingers crossed. You always gotta hold your breath. But indeed, seems like we are good to go. Chaemiko versus Lucy. We head on in to our first map of the first match of the day. And we start things off on Echo Isles 2.2. The new version. New and improved. On the left-hand side, spawning, we have Chaemiko. And the right-hand side, we got Lucy, who has had a tough time recently. Lucy seems to really not be able to compete with the best undeads out there anymore, but every now and then, he still has moments where he can shine. But Chaemiko, I feel like normally very solid in this matchup. I would certainly see him as the clear favorite here. And on Echo Isles, as we are, fast expansions are expected. Sort of from both sides. Lich or Cryptlord should be one of the two. Oh, it is the Cryptlord. Quite old school. I like it. Cryptlord, a little bit more cheesy nowadays, I would say, than the Lich in comparison. The Cryptlord, once he starts running out of mana, and all the beetles have been killed, will be a lot weaker. But on level 2, and maybe even level 3, with the first couple of attacks, he can be very scary with lots of beetles around. And the human can get caught off guard by that indeed. However, if Chaemiko manages to secure an early Merc camp with Berserker and Shadow Priest, that's normally the best answer one can try to go for against the Cryptlord. Oh, Lucy might be trying to steal the Shadow Priest away. Oh, but Chaemiko gets it. That's a big deal. This Shadow Priest is very, very valuable. You as the human definitely want to make sure that this one goes to you. And didn't take too much damage either. The Archmage shows up. And doesn't get the Water Elemental purged either. Good early game. Clean, very clean creep so far by Chaemiko here. Pendant of Energy for the Archmage is okay, kind of. Gives him a bit more mana now, but only really later on the MK will actually be really good. While Lucy is going for the instant expansion. Yeah, I think this opening for Chaemiko is basically the best against the Crypt Lord. Go for the Mercs first. Get one Shadow Priest right away. Pick up the second one shortly after. Go for the Berserker as well. Keep creeping. And expand at some point. Early Arcane Tower here as well for Chaemiko. Wants to be safe. Playing a rather slow expansion, to be honest, in comparison especially to Lucy, who gets the first kill. First surround on the footy, and that's level 2, and that's the first mistake by Chaemiko. That's not really supposed to happen. But sometimes it just does. Whoever gets the Berserker here is a big deal. Kind of surprised Chaemiko doesn't have a unit here to pick up the Berserker. Can still get it in a moment, getting more experience here from the natural ring. Not really what he wanted. These are great MK items, however. Something to keep in mind. And now it's time to go for the Berserker, I believe. Time is ready, and there we are. Next Shadow Priest being delayed, because first, of course, the expansion will have to come up, while Lucy's expansion also being set up right now. And Lucy not being too aggressive yet. Okay, but that might change. It's kind of cool. Ghouls being sent out to start creeping, or continue creeping, and get that level 3. Oh, beautiful scout. Very important here for Chaemiko to see this Crypt Lord coming. Need to defend against it, of course, as best he can. The Berserker here is the most important unit. Chaemiko needs to try to avoid getting it impaled and surrounded. So far, not too many kills, but that can change quickly. Peasants being targeted right away, as of course is the norm. But Lucy doesn't quite find the connection. Missed the impale. He had full mana. Didn't use the impale. I feel like that could have been done a bit better. And Chaemiko gets away basically scot-free, which is crazy. Normally, a bunch of peasants are supposed to die here. If all these peasants survive, this is amazing for Chaemiko, as his economy is going to be looking great. But now, the Crypt Lord is back in the mix, and it's going to be a couple of peasants falling now for sure. One goes down, probably a second as well, but the Water Elementals and Berserker. Very good here. So 2 peasants fall. This is still very good for Chaemiko. But now a third one goes down. Alright. Decent-ish damage. Although I'd say Lucy's ideally wants to do a lot more than just this. A lot more than just 3 kills. But the expansion was certainly slowed down, while the land expansion is already up and mining. The danger for the undead is the counterattack. When the human runs across the map with footies and mercs, and then goes for ghoul kills or acolyte kills himself. Lord still not using the impale, just summoning beetles over and over, trying to buy time. The crypt here is about to finish. I mean, the graveyard. There should have been a second crypt. Oh, there is. Pretty good build by Lucy. He's going to be able to go into Fiends here momentarily, which seems like he needs to. The attack on the human side also has begun, and is not far behind the undead. So, I think both players can be kind of satisfied with this early game. Footy count pretty low, by the way. Chaemiko was cutting footies quite early to go for more mercs. And of course the expansion and all that. But now footy production should resume. Not yet though. And here we go. This is the counterattack. This is the scary part for the undead. Defending against this without fiends is quite difficult. The towers and the blight help, of course. Chaemiko not committing in too deep. I think he should have probably rather attacked into the main base to try to kill ghouls. But the trip there would have taken much longer than towards the expo. Also understandable. But so far, so good for Lucy. This is a decent early game. Heal scroll, invuln. Chaemiko picks up the items right away. While the tech is coming up. Normally the undead wants to rush tier 3 instantly. To get to destroyers and orb and triple hero as fast as possible. Archmage about to get level 4. Also a valuable level. Gonna help all the casters and the second and third hero, which will be coming later. Normally, double Sanctum and 1 Workshop, I think, is the norm against Cryptlord. We're gonna have Priest with Dispel, Fast, and a couple of Breakers. And also later add in a couple of Knights and a couple of Gyros. And that's normally the army the human wants to go for. Second hero is the MK. Tier 3 follow-up right away. Macro still looking clean on both sides. Tier 3 also for the Undead and double Slaughterhouse. Oh, if both these Slaughterhouses get cancelled, that would be a big deal. As the DK second is joining as well. Oh, interesting. Chaemiko kind of setting the footies back to pressure the Fiends. To create space for the Mercs and the Archmage to cancel the Slaughterhouse. Oh, does he have enough damage though? With the next Watch Elemental. He might. Oh, this is a big deal. This cancel would be huge, and he gets it. Oh, that's very painful for Lucy. Great timing for Chaemiko. Not forcing the fight, not donating away his own units, but rather going for the Slaughterhouse cancel, and this is a really big deal. Fewer statues, later destroyers, fewer destroyers. That means that Chaemiko should have more time against the tier 3 timing push that might be coming from Lucy. That should be coming from Lucy, if you ask me. 1 Sanctum also now being built. And MK finally joining. And with the MK through Stormbolt, there is now kill threat onto these Fiends. Chaemiko's Lumber does actually look quite low. Didn't make that many peasants. I wonder if that's something that he's going to regret. Lumber's very low. Where's all that lumber going? Now finally a workshop being built. But having only 1 Sanctum is not really great for Chaemiko. By no means. Here we see the Impale. The first one of the game, I think it was. But the Beetles are still being dealt with fairly well. The Shadow Priests have helped tremendously this game. The first Fiend might be going down. I think the Coil is on cooldown, and not quite ready in time was the Burrow. Oh, this one is, though. Nice dodge. Chaemiko has to back up. Double level up for Lucy, and it's starting to look better and better for Lucy over here, if you ask me. Chaemiko's Lumber still seems to be the big problem. Priest and Adept training coming now. Tier 3 finished, though. That means the Paladin can join right away. And also a few Knights, I suppose, will be added. But a tier 3 timing could soon hit. And Lucy got a huge army already. 70 supply. And he might just have enough to overrun his opponent here. This is looking really, really good for Lucy all of a sudden. If he just goes for Frenzy, brings all the ghouls, morphs destroyers, this could just be a kill move. Alright, Chaemiko now also starting to build his army, but he's a little bit later compared to his opponent. Gyro, scouting things out, sees Lucy right away. Chaemiko probably wants to just creep up as much as he can, level the MK high, as high as he can, and then TP home to defend. He's got double heal scrolls. That's going to be a help. But the supply elite is still hugely in the Undead's favor. Alright, here comes the Lich. Brings in the Orb. Ghouls on the way. And Destroyers as well. This is the timing. It's going to be a tough hold for Chaemiko. But if he does hold, he should have the lead in this game. And here we are. 3 Knights are queued. Oh, this Knight, fortunately for him, pops out on the correct side. Chaemiko trying to creep this camp fast. Gonna get the MK very close to level 3. That will be a big help. Probably gonna go clap level 2, I would assume. Sorry, Mask as well. Oh, wonderful item. It's got double Immo Potion as well. But the Barracks goes down. The Knight production has now been halted. And Chaemiko's gonna be in not the easiest position here. Needs to TP home soon and call to arms. And there we go. More gyros coming in as well. Super aggressive TP! Could get impaled, but Stormbolted the Crypt Lord right away. That was well done. All the gyros webbed right away. Not too many knights, of course, on the battlefield. Is he remaking, perhaps, barracks? No, he's not. And the ghouls being sent to the expansion, that seems very smart, indeed. MK level 3 now. The clap level 2 is really strong. But not too much DPS on this human army, honestly. It's mostly militia, which are soon going to run out. Stormbolt on the Crypt Lord is going to have to TP out here, probably. And that buys Chaemiko some more time. But Chaemiko lost a lot of units here. And the ghouls at the expansion found a lot of kills as well. This is looking good for Lucy. This is looking really good. Staff home from the Archmage. Paladin close to level 2 at least. But the economy in shambles. Expansion only now continuing to mine. Over here in the main base we have no mining at the moment. Lucy should probably just attack instantly again. If he's too slow, then Chaemiko's gonna have a chance to rebuild and come back. And perhaps I counted out Lucy too easily. Because, yeah, this was a clean game by him. Good game so far by Lucy and... yeah, Chaemiko, definitely in trouble. Going aggressive here by Chaemiko, I think is smart. He needs to buy time for his own expansion, for his own economy to pick up again. And to build a decent army. $50 supply only for Chaemiko. He's also super low lumber. Needs to make new peasants here in the late game, it seems like. Which never feels good. Lucy, though, he's playing this a bit too slow, honestly. He shouldn't be creeping at this stage in the game. He should just be attacking this expansion. This expo should have been an easy kill for him. But he's creeping, and he's getting kind of distracted by Chaemiko here. And if Chaemiko gets to 70 supply again, this game is still winnable for him. The gargoyles getting taken out quickly, but also 2 gyros falling in return. But that was a decent trade for Chaemiko. Again, he bought time for more rounds of production. But he's got 0 lumber. 0 lumber on Chaemiko. And the army really isn't that big. This MK has to do a lot of heavy lifting. All the weight on his shoulders here. $15 supply lead for Lucy. The A-bomb's now also going to provide lots of tankiness. I think Chaemiko has to manually get behind the A-bombs and attack the fiends. Otherwise, he's going to waste too much damage on them. Would be my assessment. More and more knights coming now as well. How many knights we got? Oh, only 2 actually. Okay. I always feel like against Crypt Lord you want to have a maximum of 3 knights. Otherwise, you get punished too hard by Impale Coil Nova. Staff? Where was the staff? Staff on the Archmage, out of range. Another mistake by Chaemiko. Could have used the Holy Light. And again, the priest out of position. Impale Coil Nova hits right away. Chaemiko normally known for his perfect engagements. That is not exactly the case so far. Heat scroll popped on both sides. MK Clap, like I said, has to do most of the work here. Chaemiko's army, it seems too small. So many A-bombs joining into the fight as well. Impale on the Pally, he's in trouble. Has the Immo Potion though. MK with more claps, he's got a mana potion as well. Now King in trouble once more. He's got the invuln here, needs to be healed up, but after that, he's gonna be super exposed. Pally, low HP, has to be staffed out. And with that, just barely survives. But Lucy's got a huge army. 81 supply. And Lucy seems to be doing it. I didn't think he would have so much of a chance against Chaemiko, but here, it's working out excellently. The old school Crypt Lord, which we see rarely nowadays. Yeah, I think the big mistake by Chaemiko was in the early game, when he had the strong mercenary army and he didn't attack into the main base. Normally you want to attack into the main base, kill a lot of ghouls, buy time, get more experience, and slow down the big undead push. He did a good job with the Slaughterhouse cancel, but it was not enough, seemingly. Oh. Paladin died somewhere. This just seems to be too much now to deal with. Archmage finally got to level 5. We don't have gyros anymore, as it seems. And Lucy's just annihilating the rest. GG is called, and Lucy actually gets the 1-0. Somewhat surprisingly. Echo Isles, though, probably one of the best maps for a Crypt Lord. But then again, it also has some benefits for human. Having that early merc camp can be quite the big help as well. I think one thing where Chaemiko kind of wasted a bit of resources, which is really significant early game, is the tower in the main base. I don't think you need a tower in the main base. I think you just need to wall off the main to make sure that the Crypt Lord and the beetles can't get in. Level 2 beetles, that is. Because if the level 1 beetles get in, I don't think it's that bad, because you can just use militia to deal with the level 1 beetles. But Chaemiko tried to play it safe and tower up early in the main base. Yeah, it seems like the Crypt Lord is kind of finding his way back into the meta, where in the past he seemed to be quite figured out, but here, now, proving to be still quite strong. Something that I would love to see, that no human does, is going for a rifleman army. It can be a bit dangerous, trying to go for rifles against the Crypt Lord, because Impale and all that. So I might be wrong about that. I might be wrong, but I would love to see it being tried, at least. Because the big difficulty, the big problem always against the Crypt Lord expansion is the Undead just has a way bigger army much sooner than the human does with tier 3 Knights, Paladin, and all that. Whereas a rifle army, you can start building much earlier. But I do concede, yes, that rifles against Impale and Nova could also be pretty tough. But I guess the idea could be, get level 3 Archmage fast, possibly level 4, spam double racks rifles all the time, and always keep pressure on the undead to make sure that the Crypt Lord never creeps too much and never has too much mana either. That is, however, just me theory crafting. Whether that would work out in reality, not so sure. Anyways, Lucy surprises us today, at least surprises me, with a 1-0 lead. And we hop into map number 2. Northern Isles, a much different map compared to Echo. Here we have no merc camps. Here we don't have an easy level 3 creep route. And here also we don't have as easy of an expansion. So that means that Lucy may have to creep the green first. Although he doesn't really. You can still, with Crypt Lord, creep this expansion first. Expo right away with just 3 ghouls. And Chaemiko, oh, he might be going for, excuse me, an aggressive approach here. He's going to creep the Tuskar first. On this map, you can creep Tuskar, green, and the lab creep. Then you get an early level 3. However, if you do that, you spend a lot of time creeping, and you are not harassing the undead early, and that means the undead expansion will be safe. You can also just try to creep the Tuskar first, and then run across the map right away with level 2, which can put serious pressure on the undead. Thank you, by the way, for real PJ with the resub, Lecrest Fallen with the resub, and Andy with the resub. Thank you, thank you. So Cryptlord once more. The entire world is playing Lich first nowadays, with the exception, I guess, of the German undeads, but Lucy also still fond of the Cryptlord.
Player's forces are under attack.
And I wonder how exactly Chaemiko's gonna play this. Playing more aggressively might be the right way to go for him, because Chaemiko definitely has the better micro between the two. Maybe relying more on army control with small forces is gonna suit him better than going into the late game and relying more on macro plays. Oh, and the AM is gonna show up really early. Level 2 right away, the militia crept the camp. Very nicely done. And this is looking quite good for Chaemiko. Oh, big last hit. If you can steal that, that would be sick. Oh, he gets it! Oh my god, that is so bad. Crypto got the perfect item at least. Ring of Regen, probably the best item for him. But missing that last hit, a huge catastrophe. This is a disaster. A lot of damage on the Cryptid already, but yes, this Ring of Regen is phenomenal. And Chaemiko comes back swinging. This is a way different game all of a sudden. And Lucy's just gonna give up the expansion and tech up instead. And Chaemiko could just expand himself now if he wants. And get the level 3 in doing so. And indeed, here they come. Militia on the way. Crypto only now level 2. Took him forever. This is a bad start for Lucy. At least he sees the expo timing. He had one beetle up here to spot what's going on. And so he's going to be aware of this expansion attempt, but what can he really do about it? Possibly not too much. Level 3 AM gets Ring of Regen as well. Also for him, very nice. Ring of Regen, always good. And Chaemiko in a prime position here. Power build, tower. Now Chaemiko perhaps a bit paranoid if he might be getting attacked at the expansion, but that's not the case. Because Lucy himself is trying to expand as well. Oh, but the Chaemiko. Chaemiko with the perfect timing here. And this is like a perfect game for Chaemiko. And a complete catastrophe for Lucy. Even the lumber on Chaemiko is looking good this time. Oh, Footy's in the main base. Able to cancel a Ziggurat as well. Where's the Archmage? There he is. He's got the Telestaff. I like that. Even one Footy left behind to kind of deal with ghoul run-bys. Chaemiko playing a very clean game here now on map 2.
A player's forces are under attack.
And I guess the lesson for Lucy here has to be, if he sees that the Archmage is creeping this camp first, which ideally he should be scouting with the Acolyte, then he shouldn't go for an instant expansion, but rather green first into Expo. Alright, if Lucy wants to have any chance, he needs to do huge damage here with his ghoul run-by. But it's hard to imagine how he's going to do that with the Footy and the Archmage and the Water Elementals defending and the tower being here already. Again, Chaemiko is just in a perfect position
player's forces are under
Tier
attack.
2 tech starts. But Lucy using this attack for distraction to get up his own expansion. But of course, with the timing, he's going to be much behind the human. So Chaemiko can muscle up to 50 supply here very, very quickly. We see quite a few towers coming up here as well.
A town is under siege.
Oh, staff in from the Archmage. Oh, if he gets it cancelled the Haunted, that would be absolutely huge. This is terrible for Lucy already. Of course, this game has been rough. Impale, surround. AM will have to TP out here soon, but he got what he came for. Got the expansion cancel, makes it back to his own expo. The shop here still missing, but I guess... Oh, he's got the replenish. Oh, he's even got the replenish potion here to heal now. Just a perfect game, beginning to end for Chaemiko. And there's almost guaranteed it's going to be the equalizer. But even if you're in a very good position as the human, you can never underestimate the tier 3 danger of undead. With Frenzy, with Triple Hero, with Orb. Always need to be wary that this is a possibility. And look at that. Zeppelin picked up. Lucy getting ready to drop into the main base. And this could be big damage. Especially if he surrounds the tower right away and takes out the Arcane instantly. But fast reactions. Wow, super fast reactions from Chaemiko. Calls to arms instantly. The footies in the meantime going for the counterattack. That forces the cancel across the map. Tier 3 has been stopped. Now the Archmage has to defend just by himself. Is that enough, I wonder? This is not so easy to defend now. Oh, but the heal scroll. Oh, the heal scroll was a beauty. To heal up all the militia right there. And now both players having to multitask. We have footies on one side. We got beetles and ghouls on the other. And now Chaemiko seems to be holding indeed. Big level up here to level 4. MK coming. All the undead heroes completely out of mana. Wait. Is the Cryptor gonna die here? He's got the cloak. The footies are certainly gonna die. They didn't have to defend. The towers take him out pretty easily along with the ghouls. So Lucy holds in the main base. But tier 3 begins for Chaemiko. He's feeling confident. Okay, with the Zeppelin. The Crypt Lord does get out. Archmage is now stuck here. May have to wait 35 seconds to be able to get out with the staff again. And we have no Sanctum? Okay, there it is. Sanctum coming now. That's quite late though. But look at the expansion. Still not finished. This second base for Lucy. Alright, Telestaff ready again. The staff has gotten a lot of value. Very, very helpful so far. And only now the tier 3 begins. Okay, if Lucy can hold on for 5 more minutes, he might be able to build up that big army. But that's a big if. Double workshop, double barracks. But also one sanctum at least.
A player's forces are
Stormbolt almost surrounding the DK. Oh yeah, he locks it in. He's got a cloak, but that doesn't help because we got a flying machine here for detection. And Lucy just has no units yet. Smart attack by Chaemiko, knowing that Lucy is very weak at the moment. takes out the first statue as well with the water elementals. That is such a big deal. And level 4 Archmage has so much mana here to use, even as the big mana, if he wants to pop it. I think it might be worth it. MK dropping low as well, but he's got the invuln. We'll need to use it. Ah, very nicely done. Waits to the last moment. Going for the counter surround. The DK is trapped. And there's no way to save him, I guess. That's enough damage. Takes out the second hero. Level 2 Death Knight falls, and Lucy's game seems to be slipping completely out of hand. We even got a bit of despool. Pally is coming. More and more units. And Lucy still hemorrhaging units himself. Lich now also blocked behind the DK. Can't get the third hero here just yet. And with the Pally coming and Holy Light, Chaemiko's gonna get even stronger.
A player's forces are under attack.
Archmage close to level 5 already. That's kind of crazy. And the big item here as well. Mana Stone. Excellent. And this Pally is gonna be a lifesaver, quite literally. With the name of Carnwield. That's a weird ass name. It's like cartwheel. Cartwheel the Paladin. Alright, can Lucy repel this attack? Once again, it's gonna be tough. Strong army by Chaemiko. Knights, gyros, priests. It's basically exactly what you want. Oh, even tanks joining in now. Yeah, that seems to be a good addition as well. Lots of damage against the Expo. 70 supply. This game completely the inverse of game 1. Here Lucy was always on the back foot. Oh, that was a sad impale. GG is called, and Chaemiko equalizes. Chaemiko did go into this game as the big favorite and keeps his chances alive. I wonder what the third map is going to be. I feel like it needs to be a good Cryptlord map for Lucy to really have a chance. And it's gonna be Tidehunters. That's a very good Cryptlord map, in my opinion. Okay. That makes things interesting. Are these all best of 3s? Yes, indeed they are. Is Pitlord still a viable hero? Yes, in some niche scenarios. Sometimes as undead third hero against Orc, for example. Maybe even against human. And sometimes we see him as second hero as well. For Night Elf with Keeper in Bear Mirror. Or for Orc. Either in Mirror or sometimes even against Night Elf. But it's a specialty niche kind of hero. We don't see him too much. Oops. Alrighty. We are ready for map number 3, the decision of who's gonna win this series. Chaemiko in the top left got the win on map 2. Kind of a weird series so far. Both games sort of one-sided. Well, not exactly. The second map was very one-sided. But the first map was pretty even for a long time. But then Chaemiko couldn't build the big army quick enough. Is it going to be a Crypt Lord again? I would assume so. This is a pretty damn good Crypt Lord map. Very easy to creep up the expansion. Very easy to be aggressive right after. Oh, but it's a Lich this time. Alright, Lich also. Very capable of playing a fast expansion. And in general, the stronger hero, especially late game. And I would say if both players play close to perfect, the Lich just, in general, much stronger. Because the Crypt Lord, because of his mana dependency and, well, the fact that he's melee, a lot less threatening as the game goes on. Like we saw on map 1, when he's level 3 fast with the first couple of beetles, he can be quite the big threat indeed. But once he starts running out of mana, the Crypt Lord will be not so scary anymore. Oh, I like this by Chaemiko. Obviously, you know that your opponent is going to be fast expanding. Lucy always does this in this matchup. So he's going to go for a very greedy camp at the start. And going to get big experience here. I wonder if he's going to counter expand then, or if he's just going to play aggressive with level 3. Lots of good items here. Row the Magi, great. The robe is the best. Soy Mask also amazing. I think even Rune Bracers would be good against a Lich. Because normally the Archmage always gets nuked by the Lich. Bit of accuracy. Also quite good. Not so good in the early game, where he doesn't have many ranged units, but later on that's going to change. Probably.
Players' forces are under attack.
And the footy scouting things out right away. Oh, Lucy, interestingly, went for a Ritual Dagger right away. That's kind of cool. He knows that he's going to take some damage, probably. Alright, and here come the Militia again. So Lucy is going to go for the counter expansion, and it's going to be level 3 much sooner. This is kind of a cool creep route.
A player's forces are under attack.
Lucy needs a bit more lumber to start the expansion. And there it is. Cloak of Shadows is actually amazing for the Archmage. If he's getting pressured by the Lich, he can hide in the shadows with this one. Lich now also very close to level 3, but not quite there yet. Oh, he used a lot of mana for creeping, by the way. I think he used a bit too much mana for creeping. More than half his mana pool. Of course, he does have Dark Ritual. Oh, and the expansion. Exposed! Big mistake, I think, from Lucy. To not run back after finishing this camp to try to protect the expansion. That seems a bit problematic. Archmage also sees the ghouls in the middle of the map and will pull back the peasants. He knows they're going to be in serious trouble here as the ghouls arrive. And this game is quickly becoming a bit weird. You might be forced into one base here after all, rather than expansion. This Nerub tower definitely going to go down. If you have the opportunity to take out the Nerub, you should try to do it. This is such a strong anchor for the undead always. And Chaemiko, fine, found the window to take out the Nerub. And Lich now doesn't have a clear next point to attack. There was no expansion, of course, no peasants. That's a good scout. The Skelly here are going to see when the peasants return, which now they are doing. But the Acolyte could also set up the expansion anew. Bit of a weird game. Both players here have to improvise on the fly. Oh, Lich staffs in with the Nova. Gets one kill right away. Denied, however. And that does matter. As you can see, the Lich still not level 3. Another deny. Chaemiko was struggling on map 1. But here on map 2 and 3, he's looking quite strong, if you ask me. And another deny. Wow. 3 peasants denied, but it's still 3 peasants going down. 4th deny. Oh my goodness. And new militia are coming from the main base. A lot of peasants had to be remade, that's for sure. But the scouting footy gonna see the Haunted, and the Archmage can just run across and cancel that quite easily. Lich still not level 3, thanks to the amazing denies by Chaemiko. Certainly a big delay on the expansion. As you can see, only 1 peasant here power building. But it's much faster than the Undeads, which was cancelled again, and so will be the Ziggurat. Destroyed, rather. And it's a rough game for Lucy. This one seems to be all in favor of Chaemiko now. Lucy's still trying with the expansion, still bringing over ghouls. The timing absolutely not working out in his favor. As now, Chaemiko has set up his second base. The tech has already started. He's got the lumber mill coming right away. I like to see that. Lumber on his side is looking good in general. Archmage waiting for daytime. Heal scroll? Yes, heal scroll. Seems like this time, finally the expansion will finish. Ooh, actually, if the Archmage staffs... No, wait, he doesn't have a staff. Never mind. Can't staff onto the footy. Heal scroll used right here, minimizing the losses on the footies. Which also getting targeted here by 2 footies all the time. I like that. Put pressure on the hero. Make sure he can't just freely put in all that damage. Clarity, Regent Scroll. Chaemiko's looking really good this game. Clean game 3. Not quite as flawless, perhaps, as map 2. But a big improvement on map 1. A lot of that game came down to, I think, just the fact there was Echo Isles. And also the footy getting surrounded at the very beginning. But that is stuff of the past now. Expansion finally finished. But the footies and water elementals normally fare pretty well against the ghouls. And we saw that earlier. When dealing with the human counterattack, when you only have ghouls, it's quite hard to do. Before the fiends are ready. And the fiends are far from ready. Graveyard still not done.
The town is under siege.
Chaemiko finding more kills. Gets level 4 here now. Even more mana. So many water elementals. 3 out at the moment. But may have to TP out now. Getting chased by the Lich. Low 100 HP. Does get away. Good save. Makes it back to the shop. There will be able to heal once again. And honestly, this was quite a few footies going down, wasn't it? But also some ghouls traded in return. But look at the timing here. Keep already on the way. And because the lab was crept early, Chaemiko was able to go for a shredder, and that is limitless lumber for him. Oh, feeling feisty again to go up against the Lich. Archmage was able to heal with potions and stuff. And, ooh, almost finds the kill. Oh my god. One hit away from dying. Needs a potion fast. Oh, okay. Stressful moment.
A player's forces are under attack.
Chaemiko finding so many kills. Look at this Archmage. 4.5 already. The footies found more kills. Oh, all the acolytes are dead. At the expo. Oof. This is a rough game. One hell of a rough game. Double workshop this time. Double racks, double workshop. It is.
A player's forces are under attack. A player's forces are
Paladin already on the way. And so are the knights. Oh, Stormbolt on the Fiend, but Dark Ritual is there. Lich now level 4. Level 2 Dark Ritual is incredibly strong. But even if the Fiend gets denied, it will still die. Chaemiko is able to find one kill after the next. Oh, the coil too late. That was an unnecessary mistake. Oh my god, more fiends are falling. Chaemiko is owning Lucy right here. Zeppelin. Okay, purchased. Oh, wait a minute. The water elementals, though, have the damage. Zeppelin was ensnared, and the fiend might still fall in the end. Archmage also in a bit of trouble. But the Pally arrives perfectly in time. Everything just working out flawlessly. Lucy has to call it GG. And Chaemiko does win in the end. But it was closer than I would have thought. Good showing there, especially on map 1. Lucy got one map at least. But Chaemiko moves on in the upper bracket to fight for first place later on. And that brings us to our second game of the day. Next up, we have an Orc Mirror between Soin and Fly. First, though, we're going to go into a short break, and then we'll be back in a moment with our next game. See you in a bit with Soin versus Fly.